Good morning, ladies and germs and jibbly bits. All you lovely people out there in the universe. Good morning. It is Sunday morning. I do apologize for any weird buzzing noises and stuff like that. I'm currently printing some 3D pieces because basically there's a part on my 3D printer that is a tensioner, so it keeps a belt real tight, and that piece broke. Um, it's an older design, and I don't know, it has a design flaw to where if I tighten it to a certain degree, it breaks. Um, and it's again, it's nothing bad, nothing crazy. It's just I found a better design, and I'm printing that one out, so it'll help fix my 3D printer. Plus, I am working on upgrading my 3D printer, so I found a design that someone created for my 3D printer that replaces all of the acrylic framework with aluminum framework. It makes it more sturdy and all of this good stuff. So I have to print out the tensioner piece so that I could print out all the new pieces for the 3D printer. So it goes back to that 3D printing joke: buy a 3D printer, print everything, and return the 3D printer. That one always made me giggle. Of course, there are parts, power supplies and other motors and stuff like that that you cannot 3D print. So it's not an entirely clean joke, if you would, but it is funny. The first thing you print with a 3D printer is a 3D printer, and that kind of is the case. That's where I'm at right now. But anyways, I digress. Good morning. Good morning. It is Sunday morning. If you're new to my podcast, I usually do this every Sunday morning, and you can see the video right here on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube, or you could hear it when you're driving around or doing whatever it is you want to do. The episodes could be found on my website, bot10art.blogspot.com, and you can listen to them there, or you could check out my website. We've been fairly busy. I did miss last week's Noodle Doodle. I said that I was going to go to Volcano Bay for my birthday, which we did, and it was fantastic. I mean, man, what an awesome water park! The rides were great. Just the environment was really nice, very relaxing. I might have spent way too much time in the lazy river. but it made me feel good. I was revitalized, and just got to spend time with my family for my birthday, which is totally awesome. And I'm happy I did it. I'm happy that I went to Volcano Bay and had a good time. So I do apologize. We got home late because after the water park, we went to a restaurant that we like, and we got home really late. So it didn't make any sense to do the Noodle Doodle podcast at like 11 o'clock at night. So I do apologize for that. But this is episode 17 of Noodle Doodle. I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to be doing this on a Sunday morning. Home repairs continue. We were working on something yesterday, and the weather was not favorable, so we couldn't finish. I'm gonna attempt to do that today. So there's a part in my house where it receives a lot of sun, and through the years, some bits and pieces of the stucco has come off the walls. So I'm going to repair that, seal it, and then obviously paint again, because we're thinking of painting the house. So we just haven't decided on a color yet. But anyways, home improvements continue. Uh, it's that sort of thing, and my beautiful wife and I were joking that I'm an artist, I'm a 3D printer guy, a DIY, a prop maker, handyman, auto body mechanic. So I wear a lot of hats. I am the jack of all trades, uh, and I'm fine with that. It keeps me busy. I always love to do things, and I love to be busy with things. I hate idle time. But yeah, I am the jack of all trades and the master of none. But as Rhett McLaughlin from Good Mythical Morning would say, he knows a little bit of a lot of things, and I tend to be the same way. I tend to know a lot of things. Um, normally, oh, ask Dad. He knows. He knows everything. Oh, ask Laz. You know, he knows everything. And it's not a bad thing, but yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm that type of person. So if you need to know something, I may know a little bit about it. But anyways, if you're new, allow me to say welcome. This is what we do. I grab my prompt book, I pick a topic. This one is bumper sticker, and um, draw, willy nilly, if you would. Let my imagination go, I guess. And we pick a topic and we talk about that. So usually it's art related, or I try to stay art related. Um, Today I'm talking about social media, and if you're watching on YouTube, then you could see the thumbnail is it has social media icons and stuff like that. So yeah, I it's crazy because I grew up in an era where social media was not a thing. The internet was not a thing. I grew up in the 80s, showing my age. I just turned 44. But there was something that, growing up, I always feared, because, of course, watching my elders and people that I knew, or people that I know and I worked with throughout the years, I kind of seemed to notice that they have like this disconnect with technology and computers and stuff like that. And it always fascinated me, because I thought, man, how do these guys not know how to work a computer, or how it works, or what it is, and you know that files are stored in a hard drive, and so on and so forth. And that got me thinking. It's always been, nagging in the back of my head, because uh, of course I'm getting older now, and and my God, am I gonna be like that? Am I gonna be, one of those people that I'm gonna be so far removed that I don't understand modern day technology and the things that happen in everyday life? Am I gonna be that way? Maybe. I mean, and if I am, then what? What happens? So what? Is it gonna be a big deal? Is it? And I don't know. Perhaps it's just me, but those are the things I think about. And and then I see older people, and I don't want to say like old farts. They're not. They're not like, hey, old timer. Nothing like that. But I do see people that are older than me, perhaps 10, 15 years older than me, that still are very well in tune. And of course, not to pick on this particular person, it's someone that I enjoy watching on YouTube very much. But Evil Ted is an older gentleman, and he came up through the movie industry, and he does makeup, and all, or props, and all these different things. And he's an older gentleman, and he's well in tuned with everything, with Twitch, with YouTube, with all of the social media stuff. And and that got me thinking yet again. It's like, okay, well, if you're in tune with something, you're gonna know about it. And I started thinking, well, okay, well, where does that stem from? How does that work? Because just recently I discovered the one thing that I know what it is, but I don't have an interest in it, or I really don't know how it works. But TikTok happens to be one of those things, and yeah, I hear my son running around talking about TikTok and this and that, and I hear other people around me talking about TikTok, and I know it's some kind of social app, but what is it like? I have no idea. I don't know if it's more like Pinterest or more like Facebook or more like YouTube or just like Snapchat or who knows, right? Um, but that was the first time where I was like, you know what? Who cares? I have no interest in TikTok at all. Is it gonna affect my life? Probably. I don't know. Is it the beginning of my disconnect from modern day things? Probably. Um, I don't know. I don't at the moment. I don't know the effect of me not knowing what TikTok is. uh, but that's okay because just from watching Evil Ted and watching Adam Savage and a bunch of elder people older than me, they're wise in their years. They know these things and they understand it, and I would like to think that I'm following suit. They may not know what TikTok is, or they may not even care what TikTok is. and and of course they're not a sponsor or anything. They should be. But I don't know. I don't think I want them as a sponsor. But so yeah, I started thinking about all of this stuff, and I'm like, you know what? It's not a big deal. It'll be fine. But staying on top of things, and the way media is now, and the way social media is now, that tells you right away, everything you need to know. So it kind of gets rid of that fear, of not knowing and all of this stuff. But I think it all depends on the person and what their thoughts are on certain topics, and whether they accept it or fear it. So someone that fears technology, oh my god, computers are full of viruses and they're coming to take our money, and um, that's a real rooted fear about technology and about computers. But when you start reading into it and listen to experts and stuff like that, you can put a lot of that fear to rest, and you start understanding what it is that you're trying to understand. So um, so that can also change the dynamic of how you think about things, right? So uh, going back to social media, if you're an artist, you have to embrace social media to a certain degree, and the same could be said about anything. So, you know, you see so many sponsored ads on all the social media platforms, and you know, it's people making videos, it's people selling shoes. You have algorithms within the social media outlets that cater to your likes and dislikes, and they try to push ads to you. So if you're a camping person or an outdoor person, you're gonna get ads for Gander Mountain, for Academy Sports, and Ozark, and all kinds of camping equipment, right? So if you're a gun enthusiast, same thing. You're gonna get ads for gun ranges and different kinds of weapons and this and that, and so on and so forth. If you like cooking, same thing. So social media outlets, or websites I should say, are designed that way. They're designed to capture metadata based on what you post and like and all of that good stuff. And yes, they are tracking you, and yes, they do want to sell you a lot of stuff. But we agree to it. When we sign up for these sites, we agree to get all this stuff pushed to us, whether we like it or not. And for the most part, I ignore it. But I will say, being an artist and, of course, getting the most eyes on what I do is an important thing, and that's why I'm on social media. But I pick and choose which ones I like the most. And right now, Facebook is just horrible. Sorry, Facebook. But I truly do hate Facebook, um, just because of the nature of it. Number one, it's not a very secure platform, and it gets hacked all the time. And God knows there's, people sending you invites to things, and later on, sorry, it wasn't me, ignore whatever video I sent you, blah, blah, blah. And that's a common occurrence when it comes to Facebook. But I don't like Facebook because it's starting to tie into other things. So, Messenger and, well, I know they don't like YouTube, but it's tying into Instagram and all kinds of other stuff, which then in turn starts messing with my stuff. And that's why I don't like it. But I'm a visual person, so I like to express myself, and I like to show people on the internet my artwork. So Instagram tends to work better for me. And that's usually my platform of choice. So I have two, well, I have three that I use constantly. That's Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, making these videos and stuff like that. So, yeah, so going back to that sort of stuff, it is important, if you're an artist, it is important to know how these different things work, how hashtags work, how, calling people out work, how posting works. Posting on Instagram, posting on YouTube, posting on all of the different sites that you choose. And yeah, perhaps I'm too old for TikTok, I guess, because it's the new modern. But that replaced like Snapchat, and that was the new modern, and I didn't even bother with Snapchat. And I think it's more a preference. So if you're a younger artist and you want to, be in tune with all of that stuff, you go to the new apps. And if you're older like me, you kind of hang out in YouTube and Instagram. But there's a lot of people that hate YouTube, and there's a lot of people that hate Instagram. But it's all a matter of choice, right? And the main takeaway here is that, I see people just so consumed, so trapped into social media that it doesn't even make sense. Because, you could have someone that is a nurse and doesn't put their phone down, and it's just constantly posting and 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 posting. And, it makes me think, it's like, okay, well, you're not really contributing anything to society by doing that, But some people take these platforms and just vent. They just like, this place sucks. I hate this. I hate that. And you see all of that good stuff. And to me, I think about it, and I'm not upset by it. I just, I wonder. It makes me think. I'm like, okay, well, what really are they trying to say? What really are they trying to say? Is this person upset? Are they looking for attention? Are they just looking to vent? Are they just looking to talk to somebody? And there's a huge gap, or a huge disconnect between actual, face-to-face relationships and then social media relationships and stuff. So, I ran into the first case where it's like, dude, you're never on Facebook. I'm trying to reach you. It's like, well, right, you could just call me. That works. Because I'm not on Facebook. The only time I'm on Facebook is to either promote Noodle Doodle or the Friday night live stream. So for me, I'm not a big social media guy. I'm just putting my artwork out there. Like the artwork is the star. My 3D printing is the star. I'm not. I'm just a vessel that gets that through. And Facebook is the canvas, or the avenue I take to get that out to the world. So yeah, social media. Social media. And it's really interesting because, you know, the argument could be made, and I get it. I totally get it. It's like, all right, old man, you don't like social media, blah blah blah. You're right, I don't. But I understand it, and to a certain degree, I do need it. And that's kind of what it boils down to, is just preference. But everything has its pitfalls, right? Everything has its good part and its bad part. So the internet has a good part and it has a bad part. Social media, same thing. You know, all of these different things. But it's just comedic. It's comedic to me to watch somebody like crash into a door because they're they're hooked on their phone. You know, they got their phone like right here. They're like crashing into stuff because they're not really paying attention to what they're going through. And yeah, there has been some videos of people falling in manholes, and of course, you know, I don't want those people to be hurt or killed or anything like that. I'm not that cynical or evil. Um, but there has to be some point where you disconnect. You know, you disconnect when you go to a restaurant and you look at the table next to you, and the husband and wife are sitting next to each other, and he's on the phone and she's on the phone. They're not really talking, and you know, it kind of makes you think, well, how does that relationship work? You know, are they even happy or or anything like that? Uh, and it was something that my wife and I spoke about yesterday at breakfast. We went to Cracker Barrel for breakfast. She was craving Cracker Barrel, so of course, me being a good hubby, I said, you know what? Let's get a good breakfast. Let's go over there. And we're sitting there. You know, of course we sit across from each other because I like to look at my wife when I'm speaking to her. And yeah, we don't have our phones out. We're not talking about anything online or nothing like that. We're just kind of taking a moment to appreciate everything, you know. And it's like, man, it's such a beautiful day. We got the kids here, you know. We're having breakfast. We're enjoying each other's company. We're plotting and scheming our day. We went to Home Depot after that, and just kind of, that was it. So, is that the nature of my relationship with my wife, or is that just us 80s kids as adults, you know, like not understanding how you can sit next to someone that you care about and just be on the phone the whole time? I just don't get it. So anyways, yeah, maybe maybe people use it as a guard or a distraction. You know, they don't want to talk to somebody, so, oh, sorry, I'm on my phone. Oh, I didn't see you, you know, something like that. I don't know. There's a lot of different things that are happening, and I read about it all the time, and it's just interesting. It's interesting. You know, again, I'm not hating on it. I'm not like, bah, 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 you know, get off my lawn. I'm not doing that. But I'm just trying to understand it for myself, and and I'm also fascinated by it. You know, I think about that. I'm like, man, that's so weird. You know, it's like, or oh, that's so neat. Or, you know, I'm definitely not hating on it. But I don't know. Perhaps there's something I'm missing there, and if you guys, you know anything about that, or you want to chime in, make sure to leave me a comment, and I'll definitely read it. But yeah, so there you have it. Social media, I guess, is a beast of its own, but when it comes to artwork and stuff like that, yeah, you need it. You know, you want to put your best foot forward. Excuse me. You want to put your best foot forward. You want people to see your artwork, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's the same thing for you being at a convention or a show or something. You know, yeah, there's my artwork, and you talk about it, and you talk to people that may love your work or appreciate your work, and it's no different. It's no different. You're just doing it online, and you're doing it across a great span of space, and you're reaching people in different countries and different areas that have different interests and lifestyles and all that good stuff. So it's amazing to think that if I post something on Instagram and I tag it a certain way, um, I'm gonna get an audience of people that I wouldn't normally interact with, and that's totally cool. At the same time, at the same time, I get asked questions from people that live in other countries about things that I do here. Oh, where do I get Bondo? Where do or where did you order your 3D printer? How did it come from? Where did it come from? Those kinds of things, and they're neat, because that may be a person that's speaking to me from Germany, and they may not speak English, but through the internet and Google Translate and all these different forms of technology, we're able to bridge that gap, and I'm able to help somebody that I wouldn't normally interact with, and that's cool. To me, I'm like, whoa, here's some Star Trek stuff right here, and it's neat. I think it's cool because just humans in general are social creatures. We want to interact with people. We don't, we're not gonna stay within our boundaries. We like to explore. We like to look at different things, and we like to experience things in life in our own unique way. And so to me, yeah, that's kind of what it is, and I just think it's like really really cool. So so yeah, just those are the kinds of things I think about, and those are the things that I experience. Perhaps perhaps you may think I'm crazy or just talking out my butt or whatever, but I don't know. I kind of feel like if I'm giving you the respect of looking at you while I'm talking to you instead of having a full on conversation with you and on my phone playing some kind of game or looking at some kind of video or whatever the case may be. I don't know. It just that might be the old school in me talking. But I just think it's a little too weird for me. It's a little too weird. So yeah, that's something to think about. And I guess what I'm trying to say is that if you have a business or you have a need for these social media sites, use them appropriately. Use them the way that you would want to use them, but don't stay engaged 24/7 and miss something in your life. Just I don't know. It doesn't seem right. It seems like you might be missing something important or some kind of feeling or connection if you're doing that sort of stuff. It's like I could post online, I can stay engaged with people that follow my artwork. I can have conversations with them online, and they're great conversations, and people appreciate a lot of what I do, and I in turn appreciate them for following my artwork, for buying my artwork, for supporting me, because especially now, it's like an ocean of people that are online, and they're trying to sell things and do things and this and that, whatever, and just if someone took the time to appreciate what I do, then that's a big deal to me, and I don't forget that. I appreciate that very much, and I every week, Friday night at 8 p.m. when I'm doing the live stream, people are kind enough to hang out with me for an hour and just see what it is that I'm working on. And I always tell them the same thing. It's like, hey, thank you so much. The art family is hanging out with me and kind of spending their time with me, and that's something that I don't take lightly. I think it's pretty cool. And it's the same thing for my friends, same thing for my family. I love and appreciate all of them, and I don't ever take anything for granted. Every encounter, every interaction is something nice, something good, and that says a lot about a person if you can do that, if you stay engaged. So, so yeah, I guess, there are some social media sites that allow you to do that. But I like to think that if I'm going to be on social media, I'm going to be exactly the same person that I am in real life. So if you reach out to me in any of these websites, you're going to get the same Laz that you see on a weekly basis on videos. Or if you ran into me in real life, yeah, I got good days, I got bad days. I might crack a joke here and there, or play a prank on you. It all depends, but yeah, that's kind of life. You're living life in real 3D, in 4D. You're living it in 4K high definition and all that good stuff. But of course, it shouldn't overtake your life. It's like I went to Volcano Bay, had a fantastic time, but I certainly didn't post it anywhere. I took photos and stuff like that we have for our personal photo albums that we keep here, digital photo albums that we keep here, and build great memories. I remember walking into Volcano Bay and telling my family, hey, let's build some great memories. And that's exactly what we did. And I think that, at least for me, nobody is going to really be interested in that. And the only people that should be interested are the people that it matters to. And that's my family. So yeah, I didn't post any of that stuff online. But anyways, I kind of went against the grain here. I didn't do anything for the prompt for bumper sticker, but we did talk about something interesting, and I'm certainly not going to troll anybody or anything like that. That's not who I am. But I am interested in your thoughts and your comments. So if you're watching this video and you have something to say, leave me a comment. Let me know, and we can keep the conversation going. And hopefully we all learn something from it. But yeah, so I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I hope you guys are enjoying your weekend. And then, of course, looking forward to a new week. I hope that you have a great week and that you're productive and happy and everything is going good for you. Here at home, we have a saying where we just, we're not trying to figure it all out at once. We're just taking it day by day. Taking it day by day, and I don't know if that works for you or not, but I'm staying busy. I got commissions. I got housework to work on. The occasional laundry and dishwashing. Actually, I do that all the time, but yeah, I don't know. I just want you guys to all be happy, have a good life, think about the positive things in life, and not worry so much about the negative, because that's the thing. That's the thing about negative things. They're small if you don't really pay attention to them, but if you focus on just the negative things, you won't see all of the good in your life. And I try to see all of the good in my life. So again, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying if it works for you, continue doing that. And maybe next week I'll draw something. I don't know. I just kind of enjoy just talking to you all, and hopefully, like I said, hopefully we get something out of it. But anyways, I hope you have a wonderful rest of the weekend. I will see you all next week for episode 18 of Noodle Doodle. If you're new and you like this, hit subscribe. That way you get a notification as to when I go live and all that good stuff. And if you like this topic, give it a like. Destroy the like button for me. That helps me out. Get all the things that I need to get done. And that's it. That's it, man. But yeah, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching and doing all of the great things you guys do for me. and I'm gonna keep on going. So I'll see y'all next week. Bye bye.